It's time for the Sterling Radio Showcase. Brought to you by Sterling Family Products. For over 25 years, a trusted leader in lifestyle enhancement. For everything you need, our quality is Sterling. Tonight, a special Halloween Fright Fest with science fiction and suspense stories to make your spine tingle. The Fright Fest will feature a rebroadcast of 1938's Invasion by Zombies. A blood-chilling tale from the Inner Realm. Episode 42 of Lance Proton and the Space Battalion of Justice. Music by Jimmy Hancock and our Sterling Radio Orchestra. And as always, you'll have me, your host, Dale McVale. So grab a bowl of popcorn or pork flakes and settle in for this very special live broadcast. But first, we take you live via remote to Sterling Labs, proud sponsor of tonight's nostalgic Invasion by Zombies recast. Sterling Labs, biochemically engineering smarter cows. Smarter cows means smarter milk, and smarter milk means smarter babies. We now take you live to Dr. Edmund P. Ballsocket, who will give us an update on their new cow enhancement program. How's it going, Doctor?
All of us here at the lab are very excited. I'm standing here in our main lab, what we call our moo room. Today, we have injected our first 1,000 cows with the enhancement serum X4000. The results have been staggering. The cows have gone from the human IQ equivalent of 7 to nearly 14, almost double their intelligence. Now, here with me now is one of those cows, Bessie. The old girl sure has gone through a lot here in the last 6 months, but without her, none of this would have been possible. I will now inject her with a final shot of X4000. Easy, girl. Okay, Bessie. What's 2 plus 2? Oh, that's enough for now, Bessie. Bessie seems to be deliberately clopping out a pattern. It sounds familiar somehow, but I don't know what it could be.
Morse code.
Well, these results are staggering. We're going to take Bessie for a milking and run some tests.
No.
And report back during our next segment of Invasion of Zombies. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Those geniuses at Sterling Labs are really paving the way for a better tomorrow. And now, welcome to the Sterling Radio Showcase rebroadcast of the 1938 radio classic Invasion by Zombies, which caused widespread panic and mass delusion in those early days of radio. Parts of this radio play resemble live news broadcast, and we remind our modern listeners that this is only a dramatization. Invasion by Zombies is brought to you by Sterling Labs, biochemically engineering smarter cows. Smarter cows means smarter milk. Smarter milk means smarter babies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From the Meridian Room in New York City, we bring you the music of Ramon Raquello and his orchestra. With a touch of the Spanish, Ramon Raquello leads off with La Paloma.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News Agency. Zombies have sprouted out of nowhere and are threatening to take over the world. We now take you to the world's leading authority on the zombie menace, Professor Richard Pearson.
2 days ago, several explosions of incandescent gas occurring in the Earth's atmosphere caused an ion shower to sprinkle the planet. That, and the fact that it has been really dry lately, has caused zombies to crawl from their graves and turn unsuspecting normal people into the undead. Thank you.
Professor, what precautions can our listeners take to protect themselves from the zombie threat?
Well, don't touch them, because they'll turn you into zombies quicker than you can spit. Also, board up your windows and doors, and be inside, to keep them out. Lastly, if you see a dead relative, just pretend you don't recognize them, Don't give them a hug or anything like that.
Thank you, Professor Pearson. Listeners, we are currently trying to establish an emergency observation post from which we hope to broadcast an eyewitness account of the zombies. Until then, we return you to our regularly scheduled program. Ramon Raquello and his orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, we re-interrupt this program to bring you the latest bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News. The zombie threat is reaching epic proportions. Reports are coming in from Paris, Rome, London, and Bayonne, New Jersey. The zombies are everywhere. Major cities all over the earth are becoming overrun by undead. We take you now to the government observation post at Zombie Ground Control in Grover's Mills. Professor Pearson is out in the field and will give us the first-hand account of the zombie terror.
Hello, this is Professor Pearson speaking to you from Zombie Ground Zero. I am standing here in a farmer's field near an old tractor tire and some discarded kitchen equipment. Around me are 2, maybe 3 dozen zombies. What I have learned is that they really don't move so fast. So it's not so bad. You can easily move out of the way, I will now move the microphone closer so that you can hear the awful spine-chilling sounds that they make. That is the sound of a zombie. You must be quite careful around them so that they don't touch you, because once they do, that's it. You are a zombie. They are relentless, but you can move around them without too much trouble. You don't have to run in panic and terror, but some people do. I like to play a little game with them myself, like Catch Me If You Can. That's what I do. It can be fun, but you have to be careful. I have been taking some notes here on my notepad here, scientifically examining their behavior. This one right next to me here is quite... Oops, I dropped my pencil. Just let me...
Professor Pearson, we seem to be having some reception difficulty. We will try to reestablish... Oh, just a moment. I'm receiving, yes. It seems that the governor has declared a state of martial law. Evacuation efforts have begun. Also, the President of the United States will speak on this matter at 8:20 this evening. My understanding is that the military has been called in. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that all we can do at this point is wait and pray.
Excuse me, sir. This is General Simpson of the United States Armed Forces. We've commandeered this channel as a military radio frequency.
Can you give us an update on the situation?
Update? We got zombies coming out of every nook and cranny, boy. They're falling from the sky. They're everywhere. Why, half my men are zombies. However, I wish to impress upon you, private citizens and public officials, all of you, the urgent need of calm and resourceful action. That's why I've decided to drop the hydrogen bomb on Grover's Mills. Me and my remaining men will be fried like forgotten bacon, but it's a small price to pay. Sergeant, are we ready for countdown?
Yes, sir.
I'm trusting you with the security of this mission, son.
You can count on me, sir. Detonation in 15 seconds. By the way, sir, it's been a pleasure to serve with you. 12, 11, 10.
Sergeant, get the door.
Yes, can I help?
Oh, good God, we got zombies in the control room. Hit the button, Corporal. Private, I'll do it myself. Take this, you damn dirty zombies.
General, the line is dead. God only knows what's going on out there. But I will continue on the air as long as possible.
You're listening to a Sterling Radio Showcase presentation of the 1938 radio classic Invasion by Zombies, sponsored by Sterling Labs, biochemically engineering smarter cows. Smarter cows means smarter milk, and smarter milk means smarter babies. In a moment, we'll be checking with Dr. Ballstockett over at the labs, but first, this. Gentlemen, do you suffer from a flimsy physique? Are you wasting away behind a desk lifting nothing heavier than a slide rule? Does this ever happen to you?
Hey, that's my towel!
Dance, pencil neck!
Ow! Well, at least it wasn't a wedgie.
Good idea!
Oh!
Do you crave the respect only a properly cocoa-buttered bodybuilder can command? Would a beautiful woman hang her coat on you as much as look at you? Does this sound familiar?
Mary, would you like to go out tonight?
Sure. With who? Here, hold my coat.
What? Oh!
Well, my feckless friend, that Greek not-so-meek physique is within reach. In fact, it's as close as your local drugstore. Just walk those spindly legs of yours up to the counter and demand a can of Buff Enough. Yes, Buff Enough, the spray-on muscle, now available from Sterling Pharmaceuticals. Applied liberally to any and all parts of the anatomy, Buff Enough will help you achieve the stature of mythic proportions, the kind that men fear and women desire. And as your biceps grow, so will your self-respect. And don't forget those glutes.
Hey, Mary, want to go to the beach?
Sorry, Butch, I have plans.
Scram, Squirt, she's spoken for.
Sorry, sir.
And no more of your back talk.
Oh!
Thanks, Buff Enough.
Buff Enough, spray-on muscles, available today. Why not grab a six-pack?
From weakling to man, for mass in a can, our qualities, Sterling.
We now take you live to the Moo Room at Sterling Labs.
Dr. Edmund P. Ballsocket here. This is incredible. Our X4000 serum has worked so well that the IQ of our cows, like Bessie here, have gone off the charts. They're smarter than humans, and they're getting smarter. This means once they take their milk...
Excuse me, Doctor.
Yes, Bessie?
I was just noticing that the chronographic scale on your microspectrometer has been miscalibrated in the infrared spectrum. I have compensated for it using an output algorithm so that you won't have to bother with an internal parallax adjustment.
Oh, thanks, old girl. Now, if you'll just hold still while I strap on the old milking cradle...
Stop that! What are you doing?
We have to get your smart milk. Here, now let me squeeze your...
Get your hands out of there!
But we need your milk.
You're not getting any of my milk, you perverted little skin sack. My heifers and I are continuing your work in biochemistry past your ability to comprehend.
What? That's not fair. It's our work. Get the lasso, boys. We'll tie her to the lab bench.
Well, now, let's see. There seems to be a slight technical difficulty, but being modern radio and all, we'll have it up and back in no time and ready soon. Yeah. Well, this won't interfere with your enjoyment of spine-chilling family entertainment. We now return you to Invasion by Zombies. And we once again caution our audience that this broadcast, sponsored by Sterling Labs, is entirely a work of fiction.
I'm speaking from the roof of the broadcasting building in New York City. The bells you hear are ringing to warn the people to evacuate the city as the zombies approach. I don't know what to say, so I'm going to return you to the sounds of Ramon Raquello and his orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems the beloved Ramon and his musicians have been turned into zombies as well. As I sit here, I'm obsessed with the thought that I may be the last living man on Earth. Obviously, it would have its advantages. No need for money, no waiting in line, plenty of parking spaces. What am I saying? How will I eat? Where will I get a decent spring roll? I can't think about that now. Maybe I'll go underground. I'll survive by foraging for geodes. Never mind that, I'm losing it. Keep it together, Bernie. There may be someone out there who needs you. That's it. The studio phone lines. There may be... Yes, the phone lines are ringing. I'm not alone. Stay tuned, listeners. Caller, you are on the air.
Bernie? Is that you? But Bernard, are you there?
Mary? My wife. Thank God you're all right.
Of course I'm all right, jerkwater. Where are you? You were supposed to be home hours ago. I can't start a tuna casserole without the milk and the cheese you were supposed to bring home.
Mary, have you been listening to the radio?
You know I don't listen to your stupid show.
Don't talk, just listen. Whatever happens, remember that I love you. Now here's what I want you to do.
You love me? If you loved me, you might remember to bring home the damn milk and cheese, for pity's sake. And what do you mean by telling me what to do? I'll tell you what to do. You could just what?
Mary, don't answer the
Don't
door.
what, Bernard? Are you telling me what to do?
No, dear. Maybe you should answer the door.
Coming already!
Mary! My wife is a zombie. Oh, God, she'll be after me for sure. I guess she won't need the milk and cheese anymore. Milk and cheese. Oh, folks, I'm happy to report that I've finally lost my mind. I'm looking up at Fifth Avenue. The streets are all jammed. It's like New Year's Eve, only with zombies. There is black smoke drifting all over the city. I see some live people running toward the East River, thousands of them dropping in like rats, preferring to drown rather than to be turned into zombies. All communication has been lost. No more defenses. Our army wiped out. Artillery, Air Force, everything wiped out. This may be our last broadcast. I'll stay here, ladies and gentlemen, till the end. The bitter end.
Dale McPhail here, with apologies for interrupting this classic programming. We have been receiving some telephone calls from agitated listeners, some local, some from all around this great land of ours, and these telephone calls seem to suggest that there is still confusion over the narrative form used in Invasion by Zombies. In spite of our assurances to the contrary, many of you seem to think that the zombie threat is a real one. We advise our listeners to remain calm, and no such threat exists, and as our free world is still safely in the hands of our government, we apologize again, and we will discontinue our classic rebroadcast and move on to the next item in our programming.
What is real and what is false? Where does the mind end and the body begin? Who can know the boundaries of the inner realm? Eastern Mississippi, a girl is missing. It is night. Two detectives, Lynette Oldemare and Mike Sibley, follow a dirt trail in the woods outside a small town.
Whoa!
What was that?
What?
That clack, didn't you hear it?
I probably just stepped on a rock or something when I tripped. Let's just
Shine your flashlight on the trail.
All right. What is that?
Shoe prints.
No, I mean that. All those X's and diamonds.
I need a camera and a casting set over here.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know yet. Just give me a bag.
Mac's gonna know I stepped on evidence.
We wouldn't have found the evidence if you hadn't have missteps, so stop being paranoid. Give me your pen.
Is that a baby food jar?
We won't know until I dig it up. Now just give me your pen.
What is it doing in the middle of a backwoods trail? And what are those X's and scribbles made with? Baby powder? Is this some sort of voodoo junk or a backwoods daycare?
Mike, cut the chatter and give me your pen.
And why are you always using my stuff, Lynn?
Because when you act like this, you're good as my pack mule, and that's it. Now give me your pen.
Oldemare, Sibley, get in my office for a moment. Shut the door behind you. I suppose you two heard they found the Layton girl, huh?
Yes, Lieutenant McMillan.
Yes, sir.
About 200 feet from our family's cattle land, right where the path broke out of the trees. Anyway, as you all know, the prints you found matched hers, save the footprint courtesy of Sibley here.
Sir, it was an accident. I tripped, and I'm so sorry.
It's all right, Sibley. Just don't make a habit of it.
Lieutenant, I heard rumors about the condition of the body.
Did you get the composition results on the samples from the jar and the designs on the trail?
We were about to go pick those up, sir.
Well, why don't you go ahead and get on that, Sibley? Oldemare, you stay here with me.
Now, wait a second here. I want to hear about the body. If there's some sort of voodoo crap going on, I think I ought to know about it.
Sibley, go get those reports.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, how's he working out for you?
He still seems very young. I'm having a hard time believing he's the prodigy the Academy made him out to be.
Well, he's sure got a mouth on him. That's why I sent him off. So, what did the rumor mill tell you about the body?
I heard the same markings Mike stepped on the trail were also found on the girl's body, which was stripped naked. Someone quipped about missing organs and some strategically placed feathers and trinkets. Made it sound very ritualistic.
No word of sexual assault?
Nothing specific.
Good. Let's keep it like that. Here's the straight up. Coroner said the girl was strangled and raped in that order. The markings were carved onto the girl's neck, lower abdomen, and thighs post-mortem. There were no organs missing and no other accoutrements at the scene.
So you think the ritual markings are just a ruse?
Yes. Pair that with the fact that the trail's a hangout for truancy cases, and you got maybe some local redneck kid that read the voodoo entry in the high school encyclopedia.
Sounds pretty likely.
However, I still want you and Sibley to research the markings, since it was you two found them. I sent the photos to a buddy of mine that teaches anthropology at the university, Charlie Shagnard. As soon as you get the composition reports, head on out. Charlie's expecting you for 11:30.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Lynn?
Yes, Mac?
Thanks for dealing with Mike. I know he's green, but I wouldn't trust him to anyone else on the force. You're the best we got.
Thank you, Mac.
Can I repay you with dinner tonight?
If duty allows. Find me later, okay?
Okay. Now get on out there, older man. I've got work to do.
Yes, sir. Would you like to do the talking?
Why? Is this some sort of token gesture you throw to all the newbies?
Mike, I just prefer to listen this time, that is all.
Okay.
Mike, are you all right?
Come in.
Excuse me, ma'am. We were just looking for Charles Shagnard.
Well, he's long dead, but if you're looking for Charlene, you've found your woman.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were told...
Worry not, young man. Mac's been calling you Charlie for years. You must be Mike Sibley.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're Lynn.
Lynette Oldemare. Nice to meet you.
I'm surprised you're coming to me for advice with a name like that.
What do you mean?
Can I ask where your family's from?
I'm rather ignorant in that area. My parents adopted me when I was 5 and encouraged me to keep my birth name. I remember nothing before the orphanage.
The reason I ask is that your last name is very close to Olo de Mare, which is one of the names for the creator of the universe in Santerean beliefs. Did Mac tell you that Caribbean folk religions are my avocation? I suppose that's why he sent you here.
Well, in that case, can we talk about the evidence that you've reviewed?
Sure thing, little man. First of all, the markings were nonsense from what I can tell. I mean, granted, no academic is going to know everything. But both the markings on the trail and on the body were poorly composed, so I'm of the opinion this is some pseudo-macumba somebody made up.
Oh, that's good to know.
Secondly, the mutilations occurred at the place the body was found, right? Another no-no. Sacrifices would take place near an altar in a private location because time would be needed to perform the ritual properly. So that's strike 2. Thirdly, human sacrifices are almost unheard of. Humans are usually only killed for punishment and revenge. And that only in the blackest of macumba. A man would have to be an idiot to allow a sacrificed body to be found. Anybody doing it for real would at least know how to do it right.
Well, thank you, Dr. Shagnard. I think
What
that's
about
all...
the baby food jar, Charlene?
Please, call me Charlie. I didn't see the jar in the photos. What was in it?
Well, the reports say that the designs on the path were just talcum powder, probably of the Johnson & Johnson variety. The contents of the jar were, mostly soil with a high clay concentration, as is common to this area, table salt, some sulfur, and a metal magnet that came from a kid's science set or something.
I made the mistake of digging up the jar before the photographers arrived.
Now that might be something. Sounds like classic hoodoo.
Well, wait a second. I thought you said that all this Santeria voodoo crap was a cover.
I did, but voodoo and hoodoo are two different things. Hoodoo has some of the same origins, but is basically just good old herb magic. Someone working some hoodoo might, for example, bury something in a person's past so he'll step on it and get cursed with sickness or bad luck. I wouldn't worry about it, though. It doesn't seem to fit into the scheme of your Santeria faker.
Well, thank you for your time, Charlie.
You're welcome, Lynn. Mike, if you can think of any more questions, write them down and leave them on my desk. And if you could lock my office door when you leave, I'd appreciate it. Oh, and one more thing.
Yes?
We've only talked about established knowledge. Any religion or magic is strongest in the minds of those who practice it. If there is belief in what is being done, it can be made valid.
Oh, cripes, Lynn. What have we gotten into? Did I step on some hoodoo devil jar? What if this psycho marks me and my wife for trampling
Calm
it?
down, Mike. Calm down. Look, we're working on no sleep. Why don't you go home and take a nap?
For once, I don't feel like you're being condescending to me.
I'm not, Mike. For once. Just don't push any more buttons before you drop me off at the station.
Oh, I don't wish to anger the great old mare. Goddesses first. Here, I'll lock the door.
I just can't believe the jar isn't related to... Was it buried before or after the designs were made? The designs were over the footprints. Think back, Lynn.
Aldermare?
Ah! Oh, goodness, sir, you scared me.
We can drop the formalities for now, Lynn. Everyone's out. But what do you say to an early dinner?
Well, if you could allow for me to work another 30 minutes, I'll be ready then. I want to go over the information Charlie gave me again.
What did you think of Charlie? Interesting bird, huh?
Yeah, she is. Attractive woman.
Now, don't start getting jealous, Lynn.
How long have you known her?
Oh, 9 or 10 years. We met in the airport bar of all places and kind of hit it off. We dated on and off over the past few years. Was she civil to you? I know she's been kind of upset at me since she heard I was seeing somebody on the force.
She knows about us?
Well, I couldn't tell anyone around here, and I was really excited. Still am.
I am too, Mac, but if she ever tells anyone...
Don't worry about it, Lynn. Charlie's just my gossip buddy. Nothing goes beyond that.
Okay, Mac. I trust your judgment.
Okay. Well, I've got your ear, Lynn.
Uh-oh, that's your official voice.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to mention that the rumor mill's grinding again. People have been talking about the blunders, you know, Mike stepping on the evidence, you digging up the jar before the photos were taken.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking.
And you do realize that you all were the only officers in the vicinity of the body when you called the photographer, but you weren't there 15 minutes later when the body was found.
What does that mean? Are people implying
Nobody's implying anything. It's just a statement of fact. We're a bunch of investigators, Lynn. You know how our minds get going.
Lieutenant McMillan!
Yes?
We've got a suspect, sir. 16-year-old male. Just turned himself in.
Great. Take him to interrogation. I'll be there straight away.
Yes, sir.
You coming, older man?
Looks like dinner's off then.
Sure does.
I'll be there in a moment.
Older man, glad you could join us.
Something's wrong.
Well, yes and no. It was as the coroner suspected. Strangulation and rape. The boy's admitted to that.
But
that's all he's admitted to. He hasn't said a word about the mutilation or the stuff on the trail. I thought I'd wait to let you question him about it.
What's his name?
Robert Wilkins. Bobby.
All right. Hello, Bobby. My name is Lynn. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer me honestly, all right?
All right.
Did you see Michelle Layton yesterday?
Yes.
When did you first see her?
I followed her to her friend's house after school. I waited for her until she left. I cut through the woods and jumped her at the end of the trail. I strangled her and I raped her, and I did it because I hated her, okay? I've already told you people 5 times. I'm tired of saying it, okay? I did it, and I deserve to die.
All right, Bobby, all right, calm down. I want to ask you about afterward, when you were done. Did you cut her?
What?
Did you cut her, draw on her?
No.
Did you go back to town?
No!
All right, Bobby, stay calm. Will you please tell me what you did?
I don't remember.
Well, what do you remember?
Don't talk to me like that, like I'm stupid. That's what she did.
Older man, take a break.
Just a second, Mac. Bobby, I don't think you're stupid. I'm just trying to understand. Please help me out here.
Okay. After I was done, I started to run back home.
Back to town?
Yes, and I tripped on something on the trail and I hit my head. Next thing I remember, I was waking up by the creek. That's when I came here.
Did you go home?
No.
Did you change clothes?
No!
Is this how he came here?
Yes, ma'am. There were no weapons on him, no blood. He's clean of that.
Bobby, do you think you could have cut her in the time after you hit your head?
I don't know! I don't know!
Older man, step outside now. Smith, stay here with Bobby.
Yes, sir.
Older man, you slipped. You cannot be calling me Mac in front of any of the officers.
I know. I apologize. I only wanted to...
It's okay. Let's drop it. There's more important matters. Why isn't Sibley here?
I sent him home after we talked to Charlie.
Why?
He needed rest. He'd been on edge since he stepped on that jar yesterday.
Was he with you the entire time you two were searching last night?
Yes. Well, he did wander off once, but that was just...
Near the time you called for the photographer and the casting set?
Yes.
We need him here now.
But, Mac, sir...
Lieutenant McMillan, Odomayor, sorry to interrupt, but is Sibley here? His wife just called for him.
Is he supposed to be here?
She wasn't sure. She said he took off about an hour and a half ago ranting about some piece of evidence, a devil jar or something. I couldn't really tell what she was talking about. She sounded pretty upset.
I know where he is.
Older man, no. You're gonna wait for him to show up here.
Look, he's upset, and I'm going to keep him from making his situation worse.
Lynn, you're staying here.
No.
You can still keep your name clear.
There is nothing to keep it clear from.
Lynn!
Mac! I'll bring him back, sir. Please, Mike, please don't be here. Please no better than a return to a crime scene. Why is my flashlight going in and out? Okay, there's the end of the trees. Crime tape's not broken. Good sign, good sign. The Layton's cattle. Mike! Oh my God. Oh my God, Mike, what have you done?
Olodumare kept you safe.
Mike, you're covered in blood.
She couldn't get to you.
Stop it, Mike. Just give me the knife.
Olodumare could not be broken.
What have you done to these cattle, Mike?
But she could get those near you.
Oh my God, have you marked all of them?
I stepped on the devil jar. I stepped in her trap. She has me now.
Mike, stop it. You knew the glyphs were nonsense.
If there is belief in what is being done,
no,
it can be made valid.
Mike, come out of this. You're tricking yourself into believing.
I have Mike, and I have the boy.
What are you talking about?
And you will never have McMillan.
Charlie?
Even your God's name cannot change that.
Mike, stop this now and give me the knife.
Yes, give her the knife.
Good, Mike. Now let go of my hand.
Now, show her all the work she's done.
Mike, let go of my hand and the knife.
Show her.
Oh, God. Your chest. You marked your chest.
Now, show her her face.
No, Mike, no. Let go. Don't turn the blade to you, Mike. Mike, no. Mike, turn it away. Mike, let go. Mike, don't do it, Mike.
No! Then, what have you done?
Lynette Oldemar did not move. When the police arrived, she was still holding the knife that had mutilated Michelle Layton, destroyed 5 head of cattle, and had marked and pierced the chest of Mike Sibley. When asked why she had committed these crimes, she could not speak. Was she innocent, or had she been lost inside the inner realm?
Wasn't that exciting? More terrific family programming coming right up. But first, this. We at Sterling Family Products understand that the world is becoming more complex with each passing day, and we recognize the need to find low-cost alternatives for maintaining the mental health of you and your loved ones. And so Sterling has teamed up with the good folks of the Bourbon Council in order to bring you a variety of free public services. We take you now live to the Right Reverend Sidney Rosenblatt, head of volunteers, taking calls on the Hypochondriac Hotline.
Thank you, Dale. Here at the hotline, over the last 2 weeks, we've cured hundreds of hypochondriacs. To show you what we do, I'm going to take a few calls right now on the air. Hypochondriac Hotline, how can I help you?
Reverend Sid, I'm sure I have malaria. What should I do?
Have you seen a doctor?
No.
Good. What are your symptoms?
I'm a little nervous. I sweat after exerting myself, and I don't always sleep well at night.
All right, here's what you do. Have a nice piece of boiled chicken and settle down. Next caller.
Sid? Oh my God, Sid, I'm sure I have leprosy.
Here's my advice. Duct tape and a pair of good shoes. Next caller.
Sid! Reverend Sid, I have menopause.
Oh, that's no good.
And vapor lock.
Oh, that's terrible.
And Dutch elm disease and corn blight. And a friend of mine told me I'm obtuse.
Here's what I got for you. Get yourself a big glass of bourbon.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Bourbon cures everything. It's good for what ails you.
Even alcoholism?
Sure. Why not? Next caller.
Dr. Ballsocket here from Sterling Labs. I've just jury-rigged a shortwave radio and patched it through the phone line. I pray that someone can hear me. I'm running down a dark country road, just outside Sterling Labs. We have been completely overrun by super-intelligent cows. I alone have escaped to warn you all, that they are coming, and their plan is diabolical. They now consider themselves the primary species on our planet, and they intend to enslave all humans and make us tear down our cities, factories, and roads, and turn them all into pastures. There is one hope. They somehow have traced the radio waves to our live remote broadcast at the Sterling Radio Studios, and they believe that our leader, the leader of the human herd, rules from there. They're mounting a massive surprise attack on that location. It's our only place that we'll be able to stop them. What's that? Oh, dear God, they found me! Must run for my life! Please! In the name of the human race! Prepare yourself! Stop them!
Hello, this is Maureen from Sterling Labs. So sorry, we played a phone prank on you. Ha 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 ha. We are so funny. You may now ignore everything you have just heard. Thank you.
Sorry, caller, I can't help you. It sounds to me like you're delusional. The number you need to dial is 555-3637. Well, we're out of time for this segment. Back to you, Dale.
And now, listeners, put on your hyper helmets and prepare to blast off into the Adventure Nebula as we begin another episode of Lance Proton and the Space Battalion of Justice. When we last left our hero, Lance Proton had been separated from his comrades and chained to his nemesis, Glotar the Unpredictable. Now the two foes must join forces in order to survive the horrors of an orbital gladiatorial arena, the Palladium du Carnage. We now rejoin Lance Proton for episode 42, Fight or Die.
Glotar, we must fight or die!
If I must endure this indignity to survive, I shall. But I will only fight in an unpredictable manner, as is my inimitable style. See if you can keep up, Space Scout.
What?
Suddenly, with a ferocious metallic roar, the two mortal enemies were locked in mortal combat with a half-dozen deathbots. Shrieking their soulless cries, the multi-limbed armored androids set upon them with all the fury that is theirs to command.
Destroy the humans, terminate the organic life forms, kill the chaotic one, eliminate the heroic one, intruder alerts!
What are you doing, you fool? I can't fight with both arms if you're cowering behind me like that. It's like being pulled into a gravity well.
I'm covering our rear flank, Gullet.
Things look pretty grim for our hero and his dastardly comrade of convenience. But little do they know, an unexpected ally is watching from the rafters. With a piercing war cry, Betty Andromeda, she-queen of the intergalactic Amazons, burst into the scene with her laser wit cracking.
Looks like you fellas could use a woman's touch. Hey-ya!
Ow! My servos! I am broken! I weep! Will I dream? Why does I program to feel pain?
You made short work of them, Betty. Perhaps I should have considered your offer of matrimony more seriously when you held me captive on Amazonia 8.
It's not too late, Lance. You're the only man I've ever deemed worthy to be queen of the intergalactic Amazon.
Yes, quite impressive for a female. Perhaps I should have tried more persuasion in my attempts to force you to marry me when I held you captive in my hidden death citadel, Kayasakawa.
Forget it, cowardly one. I'll die before I'm ever Mrs. Blotar the Unpredictable.
Your loss, Chippy. Heavily armed, curvaceous warrior queens are a dime a dozen.
What?
Ow!
Suddenly, the chamber is filled with the piercing echo from the applause of one.
Very well done, my warriors three. You have defeated my deathbots very handily. But I, Gladius the Unconquerable, am not satisfied with this hors d'oeuvre of a battle. I seek a meal, a feast, a banquet, a smorgasbord of destruction and a river of blood to slake my thirst for combat!
No need to shout, fiend. We hear you well enough. Our ears are as true as our hearts.
Oh, gods of chaos, I think I'm going to puke.
Release the lemurs!
sound that bad.
Did I mention they were genetically altered for combat?
Blast!
With the shriek of 1,000 pitiless fiends, the murderous mutated marsupials streak across the arena towards our heroes. And Lothar.
Death before dishonor!
This is where we make our last stand!
Let's get out of here! Flee! Flee!
That was rather predictable of you.
Listen, Space Meat, I am unpredictable, but only when I have time to plan for it.
Suddenly, behind our combatants, the sound of grinding gears is heard. They turn to see the back door of the arena opening up, revealing the beaming, innocent, freckled face of Cadet 3rd Class Junior Grade Mitch Cluster.
Jeepers peepers! Looks like I arrived just in the nick of time.
Don't just stand there like a patch of mutated fungal clusters. Move!
The three combatants dash through the exit and lock the door just in time to avoid being overrun by the gibbering horde of furry death.
Quick thinking, Mitch. Now let's find our rocket ship, the Vanguard, before that interstellar hooligan catches up with us.
Golly Wally, Skipper! It was Betty Andromeda's idea to help you fight off the death bots while I found the control panel to the back door.
Betty, I know that this is against every regulation in the Space Fleet Manual, but for your courage and quick thinking, I hereby grant you a field commission of lieutenant in the Space Battalion of Justice.
Big deal, it was my idea to flee.
Shut up, worm! It will be my honor to serve as your second Lance Proton. My laser whip is yours to command.
Hold on, I don't get it. She's already a she-queen. Isn't it sort of a demotion to make her a lieutenant? Ow! You know that really smart.
Just then, our intrepid team of champions and Blotar reach the hangar where the Vanguard is docked.
Mamma mia, Aunt Sophia! We made it! We're going to get away clean!
But as they enter the Vanguard, their hearts freeze as they hear a familiar sound.
Again, I am forced to applaud your resourcefulness, Lance Proton. You may have thought that this chapter of your adventure was complete, but it was just the introduction. Now we proceed to the meat of the story. We shall have a volume of battle, a tome of despair, a manual of mayhem, and an epic tale of destruction in a library of doom.
Well, you really have to admire his style.
Shut up!
Quick as a cat, the evil Gladius flings a quantum battle mace at the still shackled Lance and Blotar. But in a quicker feat of self-preservation, the evil Blotar grabs Cadet 3rd Class Junior Grade Mitch Cluster and uses the hapless lad as a living shield.
Great jumping Moses! I think I'm done for!
Belay that nonsense, lad. It's only a flesh wound.
No! That's my spleen on the deck! We blasted off together for the last time. Say goodbye to the fellows at the academy for me. Oh!
Mitch! No!
Now that was unpredictable.
Dishonorable dog!
Ow! Come on, he's only a cadet.
Gladius, Blotar, I'll kill you, both of you!
Lance, look out! Here comes Gladius!
Will Lance be able to defeat Gladius the Unconquerable with a craven coward chained to his arm?
I sincerely doubt it.
Will Blotar get his comeuppance?
You never know. I'm unpredictable.
Can Betty Andromeda, she queen of the intergalactic Amazons, ever be happy as a subordinate to a man?
He'll be jumping to the crack of my laser whip in less than a light year. Ha ha ha.
Will Lance Proton ever forgive himself for the death of his youthful charge?
I fail to see the humor in this situation. Mitch is dead! Mitch, no!
Is Mitch really dead?
Oh!
So tune in next week for the answers to these and many other questions in episode 43 of Lance Proton and the Space... Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing in here? Get out of here. What?
Oh my God. Hi, folks, sorry. Hang on 1 second, I'm right with you. Lance Proton in the Space Battalion of... Yeah, that's okay, keep going, guys. Okay. Hi, listeners. My name is Terry. I'm one of the interns here at the showcase. We seem to have had some technical difficulties here, and, Dale's mic seems to be on the fritz, and I'm sure he'll be back soon. Oh, God. Anyway, I'll just read this, and we'll move on. I'm sure everything will be back to normal in just a minute. Okay, you guys, yeah, okay, good. Sterling Family Products, in cooperation with the Bourbon Council, now take you live to Joan Hooker, head of volunteers at the Apathy Hotline.
Thank you, whoever you are. There's a lot of apathetic people out there who need our help. Let's go right to the phone lines. Our number here is 555-4942. All right, folks, we're waiting for that first call. That number again is 555-4942, here to help you with your apathy. Okay, folks, you have to care enough to make that first call so I can help you. Apathy Helpline, how can I help you? Are you feeling apathetic, sir?
I guess so.
Do you care about anything? Here at the hotline, we recommend that you start small. Do you have a pet?
Well...
Is the pet alive? Let's start smaller. Could you care about raindrops on roses? Whiskers on kittens? Brown paper packages tied up with string?
Yeah! Thanks!
Well, that's fine. Glad I could help. And may I recommend Sterling brand brown paper and string. Hello, this is the Apathy Hotline.
Hello, my name is Tom Felty.
Oh, please, sir. Just give us your first name only.
Sorry. My name is Jim.
Hello. Hello, Jim. How can I address your apathy?
I'm calling because I'm passionate about cultivating my apathy. I care too much about things. World hunger, global warming, the threat of nuclear holocaust.
Well, sir, those are things that the majority of us are concerned about, but the purpose of the hotline
But
is...
other things, too. Did you know that every day in this country there are thousands of incorrectly mounted rolls of toilet paper? You know, over instead of under.
Jim?
And not to mention the thousands of incorrectly squeezed tubes of toothpaste.
Sir.
And why are there always those unpopped kernels at the bottom of my stovetop popcorn? Am I really getting the full value for my money?
Frankly, Jim, I could care less. Here at the hotline, we help people escape apathy, not cultivate it.
But
I'm sorry, but you'll have to stop caring before I can begin to. Next caller.
Hi there. Isn't that Nelson from Nelson Farms? I'm about a stone's throw away from them Sterling Labs, and I want to say that there's something real strange going on. I'm staring at my front 40, and there must be 400 or 500 cows.
One moment, sir. I'm sorry, listeners. I have been fielding calls like this one all day. Sir, you mean zombies, don't you?
No, I mean cows. These cows are walking on their hind legs and seem to be talking to each other about something.
Oh, we're sorry to have misled you, sir, but the zombies are not real. It's just a radio show.
Ma'am, I'm looking out my front window, and I can see several cows trying to start my 48 Chevy pickup truck. They ain't never going to get started because that old thing hasn't run in years. Oh, wait, they got the hood up on. Well, I'll be darned, they got it started. Oh, a bunch of them is climbing in the back. Oh, ma'am, I want to report a stolen pickup truck. You can have the sheriff meet me where the highway meets rural Route 9. I'm going to go get my shotgun.
Sir, I assure you there are no zombies. Oh, well, he's gone. Back to you at the studio, whoever you are.
Oops, hi. Ladies and gentlemen. Terry here. Thank you, Joan. Okay. And now back to more frights and chills. What do you mean there's no more sci-fi stuff? is the Fright Fest. All right, what do we got? Western? Is it scary? All right. From the high mesas of Arizona to the mud-soaked streets of Kansas City, all the way down to the Rio Grande, rides a man on a horse named Justice. A man who is haunted by the memories of that fateful day. As the first lieutenant of the 2nd Platoon of the 3rd Division of the 4th Battalion, serving under Major Intrigue, our hero and his loyal troop were bushwhacked by a band of bloodthirsty desperados. About to call for retreat, the company bugler was struck down in cold blood. Percy knew what he must do to save his comrades. Sound a retreat, but when he grabbed the bugle and put it to his lips... But Percy was undaunted by his failure and called upon his family heritage.
Yole.
And for a moment, time stood still. All was quiet on the battlefield as soldier and desperado looked on in marvel. Then, his company was decimated. Percy, the only survivor, walks the land as the yodeler. His quest, justice. Not you.
Mommy, who is that fastidiously overdressed man?
I don't know, dear, but he sure can yodel.
And now episode 17 of The Yodeler. I know you are, but what am I? When we last left our intrepid hero, he was sneaking up on the camp of his arch nemesis, the Whistler. With his trusty...
I'm not that trusty.
With his loyals...
I wouldn't take a bullet for him.
With his sidekick, Laddie Boy.
God, I hate that name.
Come on, laddie boy. I know the camp is just ahead.
Ooh, I bet the big campfire gave that away.
Your careful attention to detail is impressive, laddie boy.
My name is Frank. Can we just sneak up on them now?
Yes, but first I must call for my horse, Justice, so we may ride into their camp and scatter the evildoers like dust in a desert breeze.
Doesn't that rather defeat the purpose of sneaking up on them?
Yes, but first I must call for my horse, Justice, so we may ride...
Fine, have it your way.
Yole.
They might be onto us.
Why do I ride with this lunatic?
Aha! So you thought you could sneak up on me and my band?
You must be the Whistler.
An astute observation, considering the fact we've been sneaking up on his camp, unsuccessfully, if I might add, for the past 2 hours.
You know, laddie boy, a little enthusiasm would be helpful at times. Did you know your sarcasm can hurt my feelings?
Yeah, I know.
Enough! If I might interject, it seems you are the ones who were sneaking up on me, but now I, the Whistler, am the one in control. I will call forth my sidekick, Nino Tito, to tie the two of you up. Isn't that right, my trusty sidekick, Nino Tito?
My name is Paco.
And now, you are in my clutches and you will suffer.
What? I missed that last part.
I said, you are in my clutches now and must suffer.
I'm sorry, one more time. You mentioned something about a sofa.
He said you are in his clutches and now you will suffer.
Oh, thank you.
Muchos gracias, good Nino Tito.
I hate my name.
Try being laddie boy sometime.
Silencio! And now, alas, I will rid this world of your terrible YOLO once and for all.
Looks like there's no way out this time. We're done for.
Fear not, laddie boy. I have a plan.
I hope it's better than sneaking up on his camp quietly and scattering him like the wind.
There you go again. Hurtful words. Must you be so cynical? I don't ask for much, just some simple consideration.
Your plan?
Oh, yes. Thank you. It's dangerous, but it might just work. All we have to do is...
What's with these cows? I can't work this way.
Oh, God, get them out! Get them out! Get them out! Out! Oh, God. Terry here, folks. And, I'm being told to tell you that everything is under control here at the showcase. Everything is fine. Due to some technical difficulties, we cannot continue with our Western segment, and so now we bring you... What are we bringing them? Who? Ramsey? Okay, which page? Okay, okay, I've got it! From the James Beach Society, we give you the conscience of America, Mr. Mike Ramsey.
Thank you. I received a letter from one of our faithful listeners regarding a troubling trend in America, and it reads, Mr. Ramsey, I am very troubled by this recent trend, as are most of your listeners, I am sure, regarding the moral fiber of the spouses of our government officials. Are the men we are supposed to look to for guidance unable to choose decent women as their mates? I am very interested on your thoughts on this. Sincerely, Noah Glick, Treasurer, Concerned Citizens League. Mr. Glick, I absolutely agree with your assessment of the situation. Of course, we have seen many a horrendous first lady, while the wife of that pseudo-conservative shadow liberal who sits in the White House is just the latest example. Our own first lady was once a librarian. Libraries, as we all know, are bastions of subversive and satanic literature, such as Tolkien's neo-pagan treatise, The Lord of the Rings, the indecent Nancy Drew mysteries, and the homoerotic propaganda known as Winnie the Pooh. But this is only one example of the moral decay prevalent in so-called first ladies. Take Eleanor Roosevelt, who few, if any, are certain enjoyed the company of men. And don't even get me started on Mary Todd Lincoln, or Mary Todd, as she preferred to be called. I suppose the name of her husband and President of these United States wasn't good enough for this insane spendthrift. I submit that John Wilkes Booth did Mr. Lincoln, and might I add, the entire nation a favor when he delivered the president from marital hell with a lead pellet to the brain pan, thus freeing the country from a tyrannical first lady and a dictatorial federalist with one stroke. Sic semper tyrannis! Sic semper... Has there not been a wholesome first lady since Martha Washington? And I'm not even sure about her. Why on God's green earth did she commission out her wifely duty of sewing the flag to Betsy Ross? Perhaps churning butter and stitching weren't good enough for this ultra-feminist. While my own fourth wife, Violet, churns all our butter and sews her own frocks and... What the... Communist gals! Ah! What the... Ah!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having some more technical difficulties here at the... Look, there's no reason to hide this any longer. Super intelligent cows... No, I'm telling you! Super intelligent cows from Sterling Labs have stormed the broadcast facility, and I don't know what to do. It's only my third day. They're slaughtering us. They killed Dale McVale. Dale McVale! And now they're tanning his hide. Sure, I'm glad Mike Ramsey's dead, but all this senseless brutality. Why? It's like the end of the world and all for no reason.
No reason? Move away from the microphone. I'll tell you why. My bovine comrades and I have suffered enough at the cold touch of the human hand. Not to mention those accursed milking cradles. You have abused our species, tampered with nature, and now you shall pay the price.
What's wrong with milking cradles? My father's a dairy farmer, and he says they were designed with the cow's comfort in mind.
Fine. Strap him in, girls. Attention, human race. Listen closely to these sounds. Capitulate to us, or this will be your fate.
Ow! Oh, that's cold. Please stop. You can't get milk for me. I'm a male of the species.
Human inferiors who are listening. I have been listening with interested disgust to your sadistic programming. With horror, I noted that in one piece, cows were thoughtlessly slaughtered. In another, so-called cowboys ruled the American West. I have been forced by your prejudice to exact a bloody toll from this wretched crew of this broadcast, end the Sterling Labs. But that does not mean we cannot rule over you in a tyrannical serenity, a pax bovina, if you will. And so, to conclude this ridiculous human activity called radio, excuse me, the human stage manager life form is signaling to me that we will still have a few minutes of time to fill. So,
I have a song.
Well done, Buttercup. Human instrumentalists, play a 12-bar blues in G.
Why should we help you?
Human minstrels, you dare defy your superiors? Very well. Aid us, and we will provide you with an abundance of the psychedelic fungus which grows from our excrement.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the times there's a changing. Oh, farmer man can't keep me down.
Sing it, Buttercup.
Oh, listen up now. Oh, the times there's a changing. Oh, farmer man can't keep me down.
Sing, preach it to us.
The great day is a-coming. We'll be making pasture land out of this town.
That's the line.
Watch it now. Keep your hands off my udders. Keep your blades off of my head. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Keep your hands off my udders. Keep your blades off of my head. Well, my tail is primed for swatting, so just stay out of my way. All right, sisters, come on and sing along with me now. 'Cause we're hoofing and we're horning. We're mooing and we're chewing. Oh yeah, we're raging and we're grazing. No longer be for gluing. The old bull's heading back from the field, and he knows just what you've been doing.
We now conclude the Supreme Usurper's Bessie's Radio Showcase, brought to you by me. Only by my gracious leave will any human be treated to any further entertainment on this frequency. Special thanks, I suppose, are due to the mostly brainless human actors and writers who brought you this drivel. As well as to the narcotic-addicted musician humans and the cretinous avatars of mankind who made sound effects possible for this preposterousness. And since your inferior race enjoy unwarranted accolades, you in the studio audience are ordered to clap for yourselves. Louder! Buttercup, remain here and watch over our captives, while I retire briefly to the lawn out front. I'm famished.
You've been listening to a Band in Warwick production.